Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Chess, and today we will discuss about the Roman numerals. This is basically a numbering system which is different from our usual numbering system, right? I think our like current number, like the number that I used, to count for this series, for example, I think it's an Arabic number if I remember correctly, but um I don't know. It's either that or Latin. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I know Roman numerals. Like back in university, I think we used a lot of Roman numeral system for our like paper, basically like for chapter. So like chapter one, chapter two, chapter three. Um, the number for the 1 2 3 and etc., we used it using the Roman numerals. um the reason why is I think it's because, well, I'm not entirely sure why it was like that, but I think it's for um because there is a chapter and then there's also sub chapter, right? So to count the sub chapter can be more than one as well. So like sub chapter 1, sub chapter 2, sub chapter 3, and etc., right? And then there's also the chapter itself, like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, etc. And like I said, some of them have like sub chapters, right? Therefore it's probably for like uh what is it called again, like to prevent the confusion of using lots of numbers, right? Like when we talk about chapter 3, then we know that it will be chapter I, right? And then subchapter 3 or subchapter I, there will be like subchapter 1, subchapter 2 and 3 and stuff like that, right? So like we will have like I dot 1, for instance, referring to chapter 3 subchapter 1, basically, right? I think that's like the most probable explanation. I guess, like, I'm not sure if that is the case, but at least from the easiness, the ease of use, then I think that can be one of the reasons why. um and then, okay, so let's start, I guess. Roman numerals are a numeral system that originated in ancient Rome. Yeah, because it's Roman, right? So it's from Rome. And remained the usual way of writing numbers throughout Europe well into the late Middle Ages. Numbers in this system are represented by combination of letters from the Latin alphabet. Modern style uses 7 symbols, each with a fixed integer value. Um, yeah, like I said, like one is I, and then X is for 10, and then there's V, etc., etc., right? That's why like I said, chapter 3, chapter I, right? Because there are three I's in there. And yeah, what is this picture? This looks like some kind of water level, if you ask me, because of I can kind of see the spot, like the drying spot over here. This looks like water flowing, but I'm not entirely sure. Roman numerals on stern of the ship Cati Sark showing drought in feet. The numbers range from 13 to 22 from bottom to top. Okay, so it's drought in feet. Yeah, it's basically like kind of water as well, right? Um, so yeah, I'm not sure why it's on the stern of the ship. Specifically speaking, I don't know what stern is. Referring to part of the ship. Is it like one of the back fin? It looks like the back fin, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, Also, why do we mention the water level? Like the drought level using ship. Let me know if you know, right? I completely have no idea about this. Okay. So this one, the symbol and value. So I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and M is 1,000. Um, which later, we will see the use. The most used for Roman numeral, I think, like for the greater number, right? It's for what is it called? The year basically. Like, like 2022 will be MMXXII, if I remember. Yeah, right. M is 1,000, so there will be two. It means MM, and then 20 itself is XX, and then two is II. Okay, so it's actually quite interesting. We have an MMXXII then for this year, which is um in pairs, right? That's like kind of uncommon, right? Like MMXXII, like when 2001X, right? That will be MMX something, right? MMXI, MMXII, MMXIII, and etc. etc. But yeah, MMXXII is for 2022, which is actually quite interesting. I just realized about that. Maybe you guys also realize that. Quite fun, right? Um, the use of Roman numerals continued long after the decline of the Roman Empire. From the 14th century on, Roman numerals began to be replaced by Arabic numerals. However, this process was gradual, and the uses of Roman numerals persist in some application to this day. Yeah. All right. Clock as well. Yeah. Although not in my house, not really in my watch either, but I remember seeing this, Roman numerical as well in clocks. One place they are often seen is on clock faces. For instance, on the clock of Big Ben. Yep. Okay. So yeah, that's obvious, right? Big Ben, designed in 1852. The hours from 1 to 12 are written as V V V I V I V I X X X I X I. The notation 4 and 9 can be read as 1 less than 5, 4 or 4, I mean, and 1 less than 10 or 9. Although there's a tradition favoring representations of 4 as 4 eyes on Roman numerical clocks. But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, at certain, when the first time I learned about this, I don't understand, right? What this means. So yeah, even before reading this sentence specifically, I couldn't actually describe what that means. Um, like I always thought that I4 means IV. I mean IV means like 5 minus 1, which is 4, and then IX X minus 1, which is 10 minus 1, which is 9, right? But yeah, I guess it's the same basically, right? 1 less than 5, 1 less than 10. Um, Although there's a tradition, yeah, okay. So it can be like difficult as well, right? Right, like 900 will be um what is 900 again? 900 is just uh DCCCC, I guess. No, 900 will be CM, right? One less than 100 less than 1,000. So yeah, CM should be 900, right? Might be wrong there, but all right. Other common use include your year numbers on monuments and buildings and copyright dates on the title screens of movies and television programs. Um, Year number, like I said, on monument, yeah, and building, yeah. But copyright dates on the title screen of movies, I don't think so because I sometimes I watch the credit scene, right, and until all the credit have rolled, and at the bottom side there will be like copyright 1992, all rights reserved or something like that, right? And that I never actually saw it being um, written as in Roman numerals. That's actually kind of interesting because I actually never saw that. At least for the sometimes that I watched that completely. But yeah, MCM signifying 1,000 and 100 less than another thousand means means 1900, right? But what about 900 though? Is it like CM really? I mean, it looks, it sounds not right, right? Like CM means 900, but I guess IX means 9, one less than 10, therefore CM will be 100 less than 1,000, right? Which is 900 basically. Um, but yeah, again, there's also like seven of them for 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, and 1,000. At it didn't go up, right? But what if it goes up? Like, what will be 10,000? Because I can imagine how C is 100 because C is century, and then M is millennium, which is 1,000. So if it's 10,000. Um, I'm not sure, honestly. Like, yeah, it's quite interesting. How would you say 10,000 then? Will you just go 10 M's, like M, 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 M? Um, like that sounds not right, right? But then again, what's the use of it, right? Like, where it will be used, right? Like, tens of thousands is probably, if you ask me, I will probably just simply refer it to t, like t, because t means, 10,000s, so it's t. 100,000 will be h, and then a million will be like m, but m's already at 1,000, right? So 1 million will be um I don't know, like uh um I actually don't know what's 1 million will be like. Uh, yeah, it's quite interesting, right? Maybe MM. Um, but that would be like will be hard to differ from the MM for 2000, right? So what will be 1 million? What about N? I don't know, million, because it uh the last letter is N. I guess N probably. I don't know. And then there's also 1 million, 10 million, right? And then 100 million, and then a million, or 1,000 million, which is basically a billion, right? Maybe a billion will be B. Um, and then trillion will be, I don't know. I already used T. I don't know. Yeah, but it's quite interesting, right? Like, um, yeah. Like, how do people back then count, write numbers that are bigger than 1,000, or 10,000, right? It's quite interesting, honestly. Okay, so means 1900. So 1912 is written MCM XII because M is 1,000. CM mean 100 less than 1,000. So that's 900. And then XII, X is 10, II is 2. For the years of this century, MM indicates 2000. The current year is MMXXII. Yeah, as you can see over here, right? It's quite unique because we have in pairs, right? Um, what would be the next interesting one? I guess MMXX is 20, right? So um MMCC XXII, guess, for 2222. But that will be 200 years from now, right? Which is, unfortunately, I won't be here uh, by that year comes. Like, that's 200 years from now, right? I mean, I'm not even sure if I can reach 2100. So like adding another 100 on top of that, that sounds impossible for now, right? Unless we can actually transfer, like transfer our consciousness to some, other vessel, other body, then that's another story, right? But by then we will enter the science fiction realm, right? Because I don't think that's actually possible for now, at least. Like, um, that's only possible in movies, right? But yeah, the next, yeah, like I said, the next interesting will be, 2222, I guess, 2000, 20 to 22, which is also probably the month 11 as well, and then the date is 22, so by then it will be MMCCXXII, and then for the month will be II. Well, not really, no, it's not month 11 but month 2 actually, so it will be II, and then 22 will be, um what is 22 again? Oh no, not 22. It's uh 2 again, right? Right? Like I then, right? Or yeah, 22 can be as well like XXII, so it will be MMCCXXII II XXII, right? That will be like probably the longest pairs that we could ever have, right? Um but yeah, it's quite interesting if you ask me. Which, like maybe some of you that watch this from the future, I don't know, like, is it possible that 200 years from now people actually still watch YouTube? Probably not, right? Probably there is something else. Even, I don't know, like maybe YouTube will be replaced like 10 years from now, it will be gone, like it will be less used, just like Facebook, right? Like, people used to use Facebook, and then, like people grow up, and then, like some people that use Facebook, in fact already gone by now, right? So, like there's more accounts in total than active users, right? Like, I mean, that's just um coming from my mouth, right? I don't know the fact, but it seems like it, honestly. But yeah. Description: Roman numerals are essentially a decimal or base 10 number system, but instead of place value notation, the system uses a set of symbols with fixed values, including built in powers of 10. Tally like combination of these fixed symbols correspond to the digits of Arabic numerals. The structure allows for significant flexibility in notation, and many variant forms are attested. Okay, so our regular number is called Arabic numerals, right? But then again, I also learned a little bit about Arabic back then when I was elementary school, and I would say that it's nowhere close to Arabic numerals, because it's actually quite different. Like, there is an Arabic letters, right? But Arabic numerals is, like it's kind of funny for me at least to think that, when I heard the phrase Arabic numerals, I thought it would be numbers but in Arab, right? But apparently not. Apparently it's our current number, the one that I'm using for counting the episodes of this series, the 1 year 365, is actually Arabic numerals. Quite, I don't know, quite weird for me at least to think of. Then what about the Arabic numerals? What is it called then? I don't know. There has never been an official or universally accepted standard for Roman numerals. Usage in ancient Rome varied greatly and became thoroughly chaotic in medieval times. Even the post Renaissance restoration of a largely classical notation has failed to produce total consistency. Variant forms are even defended by some modern writers as offering improved flexibility. On the other hand, especially where a Roman numeral is considered a legally binding expression of a number, as in U.S. copyright law, where an incorrect or ambiguous numeral may invalidate a copyright claim or affect the termination date of the copyright period. It is desirable to strictly follow the usual style described below. The following table displays how Roman numerals are usually written. Okay, so it's basically like, because there is no like, I would say like grammar or structure for how it's supposed to be used, right? Therefore, it can cause a confusion, like speaking in the term of copyright law, right? Like maybe they want to say 2022, right? Like MMXXII, but instead, well, not really 2022, but let's pick another number like um 2024, for instance, and they write it as MMXX and then four I's instead of IV, right? Therefore, there is like, incorrect grammar, right? Like, it's not, like basically, the use is not standardized, right? Or standardized. Is that a word, standardized? How do I pronounce that again? Standardized. Okay, so yeah, you know what I mean, right? Okay, standard form thousands hundred C. Okay, so it's like 1,000 it mean M, and then 100 means C, and then 1 tenth is X, and then 1 unit is 1, right? And then there's 2 and there's 3. Yeah, it's interesting over here, right? Like the 4 in thousands. What about this? Will it be MMMM, right? It's weird, right? Like, how do people count more than 3,000? Like 3,999. Yeah, 3,999. Then, like, what about that? What about 4,000? It's quite interesting as well. Like 300 is still CCC, and then 3 times XXX, units 3, and then XL, CD, XL, IV, and then DLV, DCLX, etc., etc. Yeah, CM 900 is CM apparently. 9 times XC and then IX. The numerals for 4 and 9 are written using subtractive notation, where the first symbol is subtracted from the larger one, thus avoiding the clumsier 4 i's and 5 followed by 4 i's. Subtractive notation is also used for 40 or XL, 90 XC, 400 CD, and 900 CM. These are the only subtractive forms in standard use. A number containing two or more decimal digits is built by appending the Roman numeral equivalent for each from highest to lowest, as in the following example: 39 3x plus 9, which is ix. So it's xxx ix. 246, okay. 2421, yeah. This never, never, there's never like example for this, like for 1,000, right? Any missing place is omitted as in Latin and English speech. Where 60 means C 100 plus LX. L means 10. Oh no, L means 50 and then X means 10. So 160 basically CLX. 207 CC and then VII. So 207. 1009 means mix, and then 1066 MLX for 60, and then VI for 6. Okay. Okay, so it's basically just saying that the zero is not, there's no letter for zero basically. In practice, Roman numerals for large numbers are currently used mainly for year numbers, as in this example. Yeah, again, what about the year for 1,000? Okay, so there's an example for here. The largest number that can be represented in this notation is 3999, like I said, which is MMM, But since the largest Roman numeral likely to be required today is MMXXII, the current year, there is no practical need for larger Roman numerals. Prior to the introduction of Arabic numeral in the West, ancient and medieval users of the system used various means to write largest numbers. See larger numbers below. Um, Variant forms. Forms exist that vary in one way or another from the general standard represented above. Additive notation, while subtractive notation for 4, 40, and 400 has been the usual form since Roman times. Additive notation to represent these numbers for I, for X, for C continue to be used, including in compound numbers like uh, 24 or XX double, quadruple I, and then LXX for I, which is 74, and then for C, L, and for X, which is 450, oh no, 490. The additive forms for 990 and 900. Okay. 5 for I, L for X, D for C. What about DLC though? Does DLC means anything? No, right? What is D again? D is 50, I think. D is 50, right? It's either. Oh no, L is 50. D is 500. So yeah, not no. There's there's no bin for DLC, which is unfortunate because DLC, like we know the term DLC, right? It'll be interesting if it actually means a number as well, because the C is 100, right? It's at the back, and then there is L in the middle, right? So DL itself means 550, but there's also another 100, so it doesn't make any sense. If anything, it will be DCL, which is 650, right? So yeah, modern clock faces that use Roman numerals still very often use 4 for 4 o'clock, but IX for 9 o'clock. A practice that goes back to very early clocks, such as, yeah, it's just like inconsistency, right? Like why is 4 there's 4 eyes and then 9 is not V followed by 4 eyes, right? Um, like there's no structure, right? Basically, um, Isaac Asimov once mentioned an interesting theory that Romans avoided using IV because it was the initial letters of Eve Peter, the Latin spelling of Jupiter, and might have seemed impious. Okay, so it's like for Peter, right? You don't say whose theory it was. Okay, so it's just um interesting theory that he didn't know who said it, right? So might as well he said it by himself. The year number on Admiralty Arch, London, the year 1910 is rendered as MT. M1000, T is 500, and then followed by 4C, which is, like different from what it should be, right? Which is MCM for 1900, right? And then followed by X, which is the same still. Interesting. Several monumental inscriptions created in the early 20th century use variant forms for 1900, usually written MCM. This vary from MD4CX and then if not unique MDCD3 for 1903. M and then DC is 500, and then CD3, right? Okay, so wait, what about 9? All right, so okay. Uh, it will be MCM, right, for 1900. This is interesting because DCD means D500 and then plus C minus D, right, which is 100 less than 500, which is 400. So 500 plus 100 minus 500, right? Oh no, 500 minus 100 plus 500, which is 900. So yeah, it's again, it's weird, right? Especially on tombstones or other funerary inscriptions. 5 and 50 occasionally being 4 eyes and then 5 eyes and 5x instead of V and L. Okay, interesting. Irregular subtractive notation. Okay, so it's just another one of these. Epitaph of Centurion Marcus Caelius showing XIIX, so that will be 18, right? Which is X is 10, and then II is probably like 2, but less than 10, which is the X, which is 8, right? So it's probably 18. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, all these variants, right? There's a lot of them. Zero, what about zero? Place-keeping zeros are alien to the system of Roman numerals. Okay, however, the actual number zero um, was used to represent zero. The word nulla, the Latin word meaning none. Okay, so it will be n, right? Yeah, this one. For instance, Dionysius Exiguus used nulla alongside Roman numerals in a manuscript from 5 to 5 AD. About 7 to 5, Pete or one of his colleagues used the letter N, the initial of nulla or nil, for 0 in the table of epochs or written in Roman numerals. Okay, so 0 is N basically. Okay, interesting. Um, Alright. Okay, fractions, a 3 coin, 1/3 or 4/12 of an S. Okay, so there's fraction, right? Which looks which looks weird, honestly. Like, what is that? That's like a lot of dots, and then there's a weird line as well, right? Okay, interesting. Same is coin, half or half of an S. Okay, not the S indicating its value. Okay, so there is S over there, right? Okay. The base Roman fraction is S indicating half. Okay, so half is S then. Okay, that's just math, right? Okay. Oh, I see. I guess they use dots for fraction, which is again interesting as well. To say them, like using the dots as well, and then S is half, and then yeah, and then combine of S and dot, and then I, which is one, right? A unit basically, and then fraction, Roman numeral. Then what is this again? I'm not entirely sure what this is. Okay. Large numbers, apostrophos. Okay. Okay, that looks I don't understand any of this, but yeah, it's basically like how it was used back then, right? But then again, like there's supposed to not be any some sort of like official structure on how to use Roman numerals. So yeah, I guess yeah, yada yada. Then origin. Okay, I think we already discussed a lot about this, but yeah, that's about it. Oh, that's a lot of symbols that I don't know what it means. Used in the Middle Age and Renaissance. Okay, again, um, Roman letters, right? Basically, like, um, is Roman letters the same as Greek letters? Probably not, right? But yeah. Okay, that is that. What is this? Stylized 9 represents 9 in unit emblem of ninth Aero Squadron. Okay. Yeah, this is just all the use, right? But yeah, I guess that will be it for today's discussion about this. Oh, here we go. We have for bigger number. Oh, I guess we just double the symbol of the letter, right? So since D is 500, then D inside D means 5,000. And then 10,000 will be M. It's supposed to be M, right? Like this, I guess, and then inside another of those. Um, yeah, I guess that'll be it for today's discussion about Roman numerals. You know, um, we just use this for the simple, for the very basic, simple use. We don't really use like all this nonsense, right? Like in fraction and then big number as well. Like there is not really well, at least in my country anyway, like there's no actual use of that. We only use it for like the simpler number, right? Like low number basically. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I will see you again very very soon, and see ya.